The entire first-class cabin was yelling him. A desperate father. A screaming baby. Angry passengers demanding silence. Then a boy nobody expected stepped forward with a heave that good and judgment into one poverty into opportunity. Before we dive in, let us know in the comment what teammate is on where you're watching from. Let's start. The baby volunteered stopped crying. David Monroe pressed his eyes shut and bound 7 months Sophie in his arms for the thousand time. His with shirt stuck to his back was wet. His expensive watch said they'd only been in there for 2 hours. 4 more to go. Bah! Sophie's face turned red as a tomato. Her tiny feet spanned there. The yellow blanket slipped off her shoulders again. Sir, Sophie book, please, David whispered. A rock faster. Nothing word. Not the battle. Not the pacifier. Not the gentle humming he tried 20 minutes ago. Around him, the first-class cabin felt like it was holding its breath and getting angry by the second. An older woman in a purple dress rose up to Ned around. Her face looked like she'd used beaten a lemon. Some people sold travel with babies, she said loudly to her husband. David's cheeks burned hot. I wanted to shout back, my wife is in the hospital. You have to get to London. He didn't have a choice. But his throat felt tight and his arms ached and Sophie just kept crying. A man in a black suit across the aisle pulled noise-canceling headphones over his ears and glared. A flight attendant rushed over with a worried smile. Sir, is there anything? I've tried everything, David said. His voice cracked. She won't eat. She won't sleep. I don't know what's wrong. The truth was scarier than that. David ran an $9 billion company. A mad decisions that affected thousands of people every single day. But right now, holding his screaming daughter at 35 mile feet in the air, he felt completely, terribly helpless. Sophie's cries got louder, sharper. They stabbed through the quorum of the plane engines like little knives. This is ridiculous, someone muttered. David looked down at Sophie's scrunched-up face. Tears rolled down her pink cheeks. His own eyes started to sting. I'm falling here. I'm falling, my little girl. Then I heard a voice. Calm. Young. Excuse me, sir. David looked up. Standing in the aisle was a teenager. Maybe 16 years old. A wore a faded gray hoodie and jeans with a hole in the knee. His black sneakers were scuffed and old. Wire-made glasses are crooked on his nose. A dark curly hair and warm brown eyes that didn't look scared or annoyed. Used, steady. I'm really sorry to bother you, the voice said quietly, but I think I might be able to help. David blinked. Help? With your baby. The teenager shifted his worn backpack on his shoulder. I've done this before. With my little brother and sister. They were twins. They used to cry like that at the team. For a moment, David used stared. This kid looked like they snuck into first class by mistake. His hoodie had a muddy question scribbled on the sleeve in black marker. His glasses were together at one corner with tape. Is this some kind of joke? But Sophie screamed again, and David's arms felt like they were made of rubber, and the purple woman was whispering loudly about inconsiderate parents and, Okay, David heard himself say, Okay, yes, please. The teenager's face broke into a small, relieved smile. A step closer and gently held out his hands. My? David hesitated for just a heartbeat. Then he carefully passed Sophie over. The moment the boy took her, something strange happened. It didn't bounce her. It didn't rock her fast or walk around. Instead, held her against his chest, one hand supporting her head, the other on her back, and stood perfectly still. Then he started humming. It wasn't a normal song. It was slow and rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. M. His hand on Sophie's back moved in slow, tiny circles. Not rubbing. Use, there. Warm and steady. Sophie's cries stuttered. It couped. The cabin seemed to lean forward, listening. The teenager tilted his head down and whispered something David couldn't hear. Then he hummed again, swaying you slightly, so small you almost miss it. Left, right, like a tree in a gentle wind. Sophie's crying got quieter, then softer, then, impossibly, it stopped. Her teeny body relaxed against the boy's hoodie. Her face uncurled. Her eyes, red and puffy, started to draw up. David's mouth fell open. The flight attendant froze midst. Even the purple-dressed woman turned all the way around in her seat, eyes wide. The teenager kept humming, kept squawking. After another minute, Sophie's breathing slowed into the deep, peaceful rhythm of sleep. Her little mouth opened slightly. One teeny hand rested on the boy's shoulder. She looked like an angel. The boy looked up at David and smiled, shy but proud. "He thinks she used a gas trap," he whispered. And she was probably scared because everything felt so big and loud. Babies can feel when we're stressed. So he tried to help her feel safe. David couldn't speak. His throat closed completely, and nodded, blinking fast. Carefully, moving like it was holding a soap bubble, the teenager stepped forward and transferred Sophia back into David's arms. She fell asleep, her little pink eyes rising and falling with calm breaths. "Thank you," David finally whispered. His voice shook. Thank you so much. But your name?" "Liam," the voice said. "Liam Santos." "I'm David Monroe." He looked down at Sophie's peaceful face, then back up at this mysterious teenager in the burnout hoodie. "Liam, how did you do that?" Liam shrugged, adjusting his backpack. "My abuela taught me. My grandmother. Said as me and my little brother and sister, while my mom were two hopes. When the twins were babies, they cried all the time. Abuela showed me how to listen to what the crying meant, and how to be calm so they could be calm too." David stared at him. This kid, who looked like he'd never been on a planet Disney in his life, had used done something David, with all his money and power and degrees from fancy universities, couldn't tell. "Where are you sitting?" David asked suddenly. Liam pointed toward the back. "Economy, row 38. "Absolutely not." David made up his mind in an instant. "You're sitting here, next to us, please." He swallowed hard. "I might need your help again. I'd like to talk to you, if that's okay." Liam's eyes went wide and he stopped glasses. "Here? In first class?" "Here," David said firmly. He walked over the flight attendant, who was still staring at the sleeping Sophia like she'd used witness a miracle. "Can we get this young man over to the empty seat beside me?" Es suese. The flight attendant smiled, a real smile this time. "Of course, Emery Monroe." As Liam slid into the white leather seat next to David, carefully setting his ratty backpack at his feet, David noticed something. Sticking out of the backpack's front pocket was a crumpled piece of paper covered in numbers and symbols. Not homework. Something else. Complex equations that made David's head spin just looking at them. "But that?" David asked, nodding toward the paper. Liam glanced down and quickly pushed it deeper into his bag. His cheeks turned pink. "Oh, nothing. Just something he was working on." Vad David sin en nog. Tose veren teige school ma problems. Tose were university level. Maybe beyond. He looked at this strange-old kid in the torn jeans and the scribbled-on hoodie, who they used come his daughter with nothing but patience and an old lullaby, and who apparently Sullivan said mathematics for fun. And David Monroe, who they built $1 billion empire by recognizing talent when he saw it, felt something click in his chest. Who is this kid? Sophia sighed in her sleep, her little fingers curling around David's arm. The planet hummed steadily through the clouds, and somewhere between New York and London, at 35,000 feet in the air, two leaves that saw never have crows paths were about to change each other forever. A because a baby volunteer stopped crying. For the next hour, David Monroe couldn't stop watching Liam Santos. The teenagers sat quietly in the leather seat, looking out the airplane window like they'd never seen clouds before. Maybe not from first class, anyway. His worn sneakers barely touched the floor. His fingers drummed softly on the armrest, and David noticed something odd. The drumming wasn't random. It followed a pattern. Tap, tap, pause. Tap, 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 pause. Like it was counting something invisible. Sophia slept peacefully in the fancy airplane bassinet the flight attendant abroad. Every few minutes, David glanced at her, still amazed as she made a sound. "So, Liam," David said carefully, "what brings you to London?" Liam turned from the window. Weighing his top glasses, his eyes lit up. The International Youth Mathematics Challenge. It's a competition. Kids from city countries compete in teams to solve real-world problems using math. You qualify for an international competition. David tried to keep the surprise out of his boys. Liam nodded, but his smile faded a little. Yeah, man, he got in. Vari almost didn't come. The planet ticket cost so much money. My mom worked triple shifts at the diner for 3 months to save up, and my abuela sold her jewelry, the stuff from my grandfather. His boys went quiet. He told them not to, but they said, swallow hard. They said this was my shot, my one chance. David's chest tightened. Your one chance for what? To show I'm good enough. Liam looked down at his hands. I'm from the Bronx. The bad part, not the nice part. My school don't have a real math program. No fancy computers. No special teachers. I learned most of my math from library books and YouTube videos. I laughed, but it sounded sad. The other kids in this competition, they were from private schools in Tokyo and Berlin and Sao Paulo. They were a tutor since they were little. And I'm used, me. David felt like someone had pounded him in the stomach. Here was this brilliant kid, a kid who they used on something David couldn't do, who was solving university-level math problems for fun. And I thought it wasn't good enough? Liam, David said firmly, can you see that paper? The one with the equations. Liam hesitated. Then slowly, he reached into his backpack and pulled out the crumpled sheet. He smoothed it on the tray-table. David leaned over and his eyes went wide. The page was covered in numbers, symbols, and diagrams. But it wasn't the homework. At the top, in Liam's careful handwriting, it said, optimizing emergency room what times using predictive algorithms. You wrote this. David breathed. It's not finished, Liam said quickly. I was thinking about my abuela. Last year she got really sick and we took her to the emergency room. We waited for 7 hours. 7 hours. And I kept thinking, there has to be a better way. A way to predict how many people will come in and what they need, so hospitals can have the right doctors ready at the right time. David stared at the equations. He built his entire company on quantum computing and AI systems. He hired the smartest people in the world. And this 16-year-old kid, working alone with library books, had used outline a solution that David sound time had spent millions trying to solve. This is extraordinary, David whispered. Liam's face turned red. Really? Man, I know it needs work. I don't have access to real hospital data, so I don't make guesses about. Liam, David turned to face him fully. I run a tech company. We build AI systems. Do you know what we pay someone who could think like this? Liam blinked. No. David's mind was racing. This wasn't a used talent. This was genius. The rare kid that combined technical brilliance with real empathy. Liam didn't use want to solve my problems. He wanted to help people. His grandmother, sick patients, crying babies. An idea started forming. A crazy, impossible, perfect idea. Liam, I need to ask you something, David said. And I want you to think carefully before you answer. Okay? I'm in London for a week. Important business meetings. And I have Sophie with me because. A pause. Talk abres. Because my wife is in the hospital back home. She had emergency surgery. She's going to be fine. He added quickly, seeing Liam's weary face. But she can't travel. And he can miss these meetings. They were being scheduled for months. I'm sorry, Liam said softly. Thank you. David glanced at sleeping Sophia. It is my problem. He thought he could handle everything, the meetings, taking care of Sophia, all of it. But after today, he shook his head. He can't do this alone. Sophie needs someone who understands her. Someone patient and calm and good with babies. Liam started to understand. His eyes went wide. I want to hire you, David said. For the week. You stay at my hotel. It's near the competition venue. You help me take care of Sophie during my meetings. And in return, I paid you $5,000. Liam's mouth dropped open. 5,000. Plus, I makes sure you have everything you need for the competition. Transportation, meals, anything. And David pulled out his phone. He have connections at the London Institute of Technology. They were hosting the competition. It can arrange for you to meet some of their professors, people who could help you develop ideas like this. He tapped the emergency room paper. Liam looked like a big fan. Mary Monroe, that. I know it's a lot to think about, David said gently. And I know we just met. But Liam, I'm a good judge of people. It's literally my hope. And I see something special in you. Something rare. You come my daughter minutes when it comes to 18 hours. You're teaching yourself advanced mathematics because you want to help your community. You're exactly the kind of person you want to invest in. Invest in. Liam whispered. I run the Monroe Foundation, David explained. We give scholarships to talented kids who don't have access to opportunities. Kids like you. This week is a test run. If it works, if you help me with Sophia and the way in the competition, I want to offer you a full scholarship. University. Anywhere you want to go. All expenses paid. The color ran from Liam's face. You're serious. Completely serious. For a long moment, Liam used stared at his hands. His eyes got shiny behind his glasses. When he spoke, his voice cracked. My mom is going to cry. Like, really cry. David laughed. It felt good to laugh. Is that a yes? Yes. Liam looked up, and tears were streaming down his cheeks, but he was smiling the biggest smile I've ever seen. Yes, Mary Monroe. Ella helped you. Thank you so much. They shook hands. David smooth and manicured, Liam's calls from work, and something shifted in there between them. This wasn't a used business at all. This was the beginning of something neither of them fully understood yet. When the plane landed at London Heathrow, Liam Santos walked through the terminal carrying his ratty backpack and pushing a cart with David Monroe's expensive luggage. Sophia slept in David's arms, her little pink Onesia clean and her face peaceful. People stared at the wearer in the wrinkled white shirt, at the teenager in the worn hoodie, at the sleeping baby who had screamed across the Atlantic. They might have a family, but they were a family now, in a way, at least for this week. A sleek black car waited outside. The driver opened the door, and Liam hesitated before climbing into leather seats nicer than his entire apartment. Where are we going? Liam asked. David smiled. The Rosewood Hotel. 5 stars. And tomorrow morning, you have a mathematics competition to win. As the car pulled away from the airport, Liam pressed his face to the window and watched London rush by. The old buildings, the red buses, the River Thames glittering in the afternoon sun. He thought about his abuela back in the Bronx, probably praying for him right now. He thought about his mom, exhausted from her dinner's shifts but smiling when she had him with the JFK airport. He thought about his little veteran sister, the queen who cried and laughed and drove him crazy but told impatience and love. And he thought about the crumpled paper in his backpack, about emergency rooms and algorithms, and his dream of seeing Matt to make the world gentler for people like his family. Thank you, Liam whispered, so quietly David almost didn't hear. No, David said, adjusting Sophie in his arms. Thank you. Because David Monroe, who had spent his whole life building companies and making billions, had just realized something important. The most valuable things in life couldn't be bought. They could only be given. And sometimes, they come from the most unexpected places, like a 16-year-old kid in a worn-out hoodie who knew how to calm a crying baby and dream impossible dreams. The car turned toward the hotel, and the London sky burned gold with sunset. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But tonight, for the first 3 main days, both David and Liam felt something they'd almost forgotten. The morning of the International Youth Mathematics Challenge, Liam Santos stood in front of a mirror in the fanciest hotel room he'd ever seen. He still wore his grey hoodie and torn jeans. They were the only clothes they brought. But somehow, after everything that had happened, he didn't feel embarrassed anymore. Behind him, Sophie sat in her playpen, chewing on a soft toy and babbling happily. David had already left for his morning meeting, trusting Liam completely. A hotel nanny Gulda Rives on to watch Sophie while Liam competed. Wish me luck, Sophie book, Liam whispered. Sophie blew a speed bubble and laughed. The competition took place in a massive hall at the London Institute of Technology. Hundreds of teenagers filled the room. Kids in crisp uniforms from private schools, wearing expensive watches and carrying tablets and laptops. Liam clutched his worn backpack and tried not to feel small. Welcome, competitors. A woman's voice boomed through speakers. Today, you work in international teams to solve real-world problems. You will not use on correct answers, but on creativity, teamwork, and practical thinking. Good luck. Liam was assigned to Team 7. His teammates were Yuki from Tokyo, wearing a perfect school uniform, her hair in a neat ponytail, hands from Berlin. Tall and serious with a scientific calculator, watch Maria from Sao Paulo, confident and quick-talking, and Liam from the Bronx, in his hoodie with a Marie washing on the sleeve. They stared at each other awkwardly. So, Maria said, sizing Liam up, where do you go to school? Washington Heights Academy, Liam said quietly. In New York. Even ever heard of it, Han said. Not man, use matter of fact. Yuki smiled kindly. That's okay. I'm sure you're very smart to be here. Liam's cheeks burned. They didn't mean to make him feel bad. But recalled what they were thinking. How did this kid even qualify? Then the first problem appeared on the screen. The signal traffic light system for a busy city intersection that reduces what times by 30% while keeping pedestrians safe. Show your mathematical model. The term Davin. Yuki calculated the mean sequences. Hans built formulas for car flow. Maria sketched intersection diagrams. But something was missing. After 20 minutes, their solution looked perfect on paper. But Liam frowned. What's wrong? Yuki asked. Liam hesitated. Then pointed to the diagram. This works if every driver follows the rules perfectly. But people don't do that. In my neighborhood, drivers run yellow lights all the time. And elderly people need more time to cross the street than your formula gives them. Hans frowned. The problem is for mathematics, not social observations. But math is supposed to solve real problems for real people, Liam said softly. Right. The team went quiet. Then Liam pulled out a pencil and started scribbling. What if we had a buffer team, a grass period that accounts for human behavior, and a sensor that detects when someone is crossing slowly, so the light automatically adjusts. Egrotic watching quickly, filling the margins of their paper. His teammates leaning, watching. That's actually brilliant, Maria breathed. They revealed their entire solution around Liam's idea. When Time was called, they submitted a model that wasn't used mathematically perfect. It was human. During lunch, a judge proved their table. She was an older woman with gray hair and keen eyes. Team 7, she said. It wanted to personally compliment your traffic light solution. It was the only one that considered human behavior patterns. Very impressive. She looked directly at Liam. Was this your idea, young man? Liam's teammates all nodded eagerly. Yes, ma'am, Liam said. But your name? Liam Santos. She smiled. Well, Liam Santos kept thinking like that. The world needs mathematicians who remember that numbers every people, not the other way around. After she left, Hans clapped Liam on the shoulder. We were wrong about you, said simply. You're not useless smart. You're wise. For the first email day, Liam felt like he belonged. That evening, back at the hotel, David listened to Liam excitedly describe every problem, every solution, every moment. Sophie sat in Liam's arms. She started reaching for the moment he walked through the door. The unknown said the. Score este matter, Liam said, his eyes shining. But honestly, Emery Monroe, I don't even care if we win. Today proves something to myself. I can compete with kids from fancy schools. I do belong. David smiled. He never doubted it for a second. He waited until Sophie was asleep in her crib. Then he turned to Liam, his expression serious. Liam, I need to tell you something. This week, watching you with Sophie, hearing about how you think, seeing your kindness and your brilliance, you've given me an idea. What kind of idea? My company creates AI systems for businesses, banks, tech companies, things like that. We make a lot of money. But lately, I've been wondering, what's the point? What does it all mean if we were not making the world better? David pulled out his tablet and showed Liam a presentation. I going to create a new division of my company. Guide use a to solve social problems, emergency room what times, traffic systems, school land programs, homelessness. All the things that matter to real people that don't make headlines. Liam says Gwen Guaid. Only want you to help me build it, David said. Not now. You're 16. You need to finish school. But I'm offering you a full scholarship to any university you choose. You may study whatever you want. And every summer, you may intern with my team. When you graduate, if you want it, there's a hope waiting for you. Liam couldn't speak. Tears rolled down his face. You'd be helping people like your abuela, David continued gently. Like your mom. Like everyone in your neighborhood who deserves better. You'd take that beautiful brain of yours and use it to make sure no kid has to wait 7 hours in an emergency room. No family has to choose between paying rent and buying medicine. Why? Liam choked out. Why me? David thought about that moment on the planet. The crying, the desperation, the teenage boy in the world who'd step forward when no one else would. Because you have something no school can teach, David said. You have a genius brain and a generous heart. That combination is rarer than any algorithm, rarer than any fortune. Held out his hand. So what do you say, Liam Santos? Go on to change the world with me. Liam looked at David's outstretched hand. He thought about his abuela's prayers, his mom's triple shifts, his baby siblings who taught impatience, the emergency room paper in his backpack, the judges who called his thinking wise. He thought about every kid in every struggling neighborhood who had big dreams but small chances. And he took David's hand. Yes, Liam said. Let's change the world. 3 months later, Team 7 won second place in the International Youth Mathematics Challenge. Liam's emergency room algorithm became his college application and got him accepted to meet with a full Monroe Foundation scholarship. David's wife recovered fully and fell in love with Liam when she met him, the boy who saved Sophia and my husband on that crazy flight. Sophie's first work was Liam. And David Monroe's new division, Monroe Social Solutions, launched with Liam as its youngest junior consultant. They started with emergency rooms, 10 schools, 10 housing. They didn't solve everything. The borough's problems were too big for that. But they solved some things. For some people. And that matter. 5 years later, Liam stood on a stage amid graduating with honors. In the audience of his abuela, crying happy tears. His mom, wearing a new dress she didn't have to save 4 months to buy. His siblings, not babies anymore but proud teenagers cheering wildly. And David Monroe, holding 6-year-old Sophie's hand, beaming like Liam was his own son. Because in a way, it was al because of one transatlantic flight. One crying baby, one act of care from a boy in a burnout hoodie, and one man wise enough to recognize that help can come from the most unexpected places. The crying had stopped, the doors had opened, and to families from completely different worlds had become one. Burbuja de diálogo you turn. If someone saw you unexpected kindness that changed your life, drop a corazón rojo in the comments and tell us what happened. What would you do if you were in David's shoes? Would you have given Liam a chance? Let us know below. And if this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear that one act of kindness can change everything. Remember, you never know when your moment to help someone, or be helped, will arrive. Stay open, stay kind, stay ready. See you in the next story. Estrella brillante.